name's Rebecca, and I'm a compulsive overeater. I went to my first OA meeting yesterday, and I liked it. I'll be back. I had no idea what to expect. Um, it was just very odd going somewhere to talk about something that people don't really talk about. And I really enjoyed what everybody had to say. It sounded familiar. It was some of my own thoughts, which was very nice to hear other people talk about that because it's really easy to believe, as in any dark place that you're in, that it's just you. Um, and it might seem kind of extreme to some people that know me for me to do this because I seem like a very strong person, and I've gotten through a lot, and I've pulled myself out of many, many holes in my life. It has not been easy, but I've never given up, and it's one of the things that made me the most mad was that I know how strong I am, and it's embarrassing to be so weak when it comes to something as stupid as food. Um, but this is my last addiction to get rid of, besides the ego, of course, the ultimate addiction. I've stopped drinking, which was never really a problem, but it was a form of self medication, so it's something that I will not do. I quit smoking, which I thought I would never do. Um, God certainly interfered in my life at that point and helped me to accomplish that with the circumstances that I was in at the time. That's a story for another time. Um, and probably the hardest one that I did was not smoking weed. I had every excuse in the world to do it because I have such bad anxiety and it's so hard to sleep. And so it was very helpful for me when it came to that, or just relaxing at the end of a very hard day. I work for hospice, which, if anyone works for hospice, can tell you, and anyone who doesn't can imagine, it is a very hard job, mostly emotionally, especially if you are emotionally vulnerable with your patients and your families like I am. It can be a lot, a lot, a lot. And it was what I would look forward to when I came home. And um, it seemed impossible otherwise to calm down and go to bed so that I can start my next day. Um, but I did. I stopped that. And so now the next one was food addiction. And I never imagined that I could ever get out of this constant loop that I was in. I've been in this loop of, I mean, years and years and years of doing really, really well and then self sabotaging myself. And sometimes it would be because something happened and I felt I needed to fill that void, that emotional void, with food. Um, and sometimes it would be for no reason at all. Nothing would happen. I would just make one bad decision and that was it. And it would last up to 2 months of a bad decision, and it would undo all of the work that I did. And I honestly feel like I have lost hundreds of pounds in my life um, successfully and then gained it all back. And it is almost impossible to think that I could never be in that loop again. I have a fear that I will go back to that. And I did all the others with my own strength, because that's what I thought the point was. I always leaned on God, but I thought one of the points of life was to show him that you could overcome these things, um, to find your own strength. But I came to realize that I'm not strong enough for this one. Food addiction is different than any other addiction. I can say I'm not a smoker. I can say I'm not a drinker. I can say I don't do drugs, but I can't say that I don't eat. That's something that we have to do, and it is in your face constantly. Whether it's lunchtime or you are even watching an OA meeting online and a food commercial comes on, which is the most ironic thing that happened to me today. Um, but like I said, I've always been on that loop. And this last time, I was so sick and tired of it. So tired of it. So tired of it. So tired of it. And this time, and I believe it was because I had given up my drug addiction and I had forgiven someone completely that I never in this lifetime thought that I would be able to forgive. Something happened, and I was able to do that. And I think that was one of the other things that was holding me back, because it was partially that person's fault that I had this issue. Um, but this time, Jesus himself, who has always been a good friend of mine, but I never believed was the Son of God, came to pull me out of that hole for what I believe is the last time. And he showed himself to me for who he is and let me know that all I have to do is keep my eyes on him and to trust that I will be able to do this if I just look to him. And that's it for me. That's all that I need is him. And it's changed everything for me. And I've had so much communication from him recently that has let me know that I'm not alone and that I don't have to do it alone. And he asked of me for community. And so, oh, it just kind of happened. I don't even remember how it started or why I looked it up or when it happened, but it happened. And it is one part of many things that I will be doing to be successful this time for what will be the rest of my life. And I'm very excited about that. And I don't know if anyone has ever had this feeling when they're finally done with something like smoking or drinking or whatever it is, whatever you go to that's not good for you, and you're actually done, because you have to be ready. You can't read anything or talk to anyone or anything like that that will make it done for you. It's something that you have to do. Nobody, you can't love someone enough to do it. It doesn't work like that. But if any of you have ever been in that place where you are completely done, you feel this switch go off, and you wake up the next day and it's not about this is day 1 or this is day 3 or I haven't smoked in 8 days or 9 days. You can't count. The counting is never worked for me. It just has to be done. And you wake up and you are relieved because you know it's over. And I had that feeling with every other thing that I've let go of and or forgiven. And I finally woke up excited because I knew it was done. I knew I was never going to be, not that I won't make a mistake, hopefully not, but it's possible, but it will never, ever, ever be to the extent that it was. And that is such a massive relief to me. So, just to let you know where I am, 2 weeks ago, I was 290 pounds, which is the heaviest that I have been multiple times, but have been in my life. It's never gotten past that, thank God. Um, but that's where I was 2 weeks ago. At this time, I am 280, and I don't intend on really weighing myself regularly, but I will do it every now and again when it feels right. And I'll let you know how that goes. And as far as food, I don't diet. I don't believe in diets. If I had to say that there was one that I'm on, it would be Mediterranean food, I guess. I love the grains and the vegetables and the seasonings and the seafood and the combination of ingredients. And it's just something that me and my kids really, really like. And it's the same, probably 25 ingredients, but it I just never get tired of how you can put them together. It's just always delicious and always filling and always feels good. Um, so if I had to say I was following something, it would be that. I only drink water. I only drink Gatorade. That's not a huge problem. It's never really been an issue for me to drink soda or um, sugary, weird coffee drinks and stuff like that. Every now and again I might, but I'd never finish it. It just would be too much for me. So that's not an issue, thank goodness. Um, but eating for no reason and eating at work, oh God, at work, there's just chocolate everywhere. And anyone who works in an office or healthcare can tell you that that's all that it is uh, either employees bringing in or families trying to thank you with cupcakes and cookies and cakes and candy and all kinds of different variations of that. So there's not really anything good for me there. And, but I can very well eat healthy there if I want to by bringing what I have and by going for the few things they do offer there in the kitchen that I can use. So the issue is usually getting stressed out or getting upset and going for that because that's my automatic response at the moment, as a lot of you can understand. But as we know, that satisfaction in the moment only leads to the hell that there is after and the sadness and the guilt that you feel and the embarrassment for being weak again and not just being able to face the emotions that you're feeling at that time. It's just so much better to just face what's happening and get through it and just distract yourself and keep it moving because it's just not worth it. It's just not. And for me, what helps me is having my cross and my St. Michael. And whenever I feel pulled to make a bad decision, I grab it and I just talk to God and thank Him for always being there for me. So, with that, I'm going to go. And I hope you enjoyed this. I hope that it speaks to you. And I hope that you will follow me on this. I hate to say journey because I'm so tired of hearing that word, but this path that I have never followed. I'm going from this loop to being up and coming off of the bottom, and now I'm going this way, and I'm never going back. So I hope you come along with me, and I hope that this helps you a lot, and I hope that if you are thinking of starting something, that we can do it together. So thank you. I'll see you next time.